So I decided to wear my Solidarity t-shirt because we came up with this great slogan for it called "Ask Me About Power." And people say, like, what kind of power are you referring to? And there are a great many, and they're all related to each other. So I'm going to, in my brief time that I have to speak, try and hit on some of the critical ones. So, how many people are familiar with the city of Highland Park, Michigan? Awesome. So it's a 3 square mile city in the center of Detroit, home to, its probably biggest claim to fame is Henry Ford's Model T factory. It was known as the City of Trees, one of the #1 cities to move to in the world for a while. It has a very sort of rich and, in a certain narrative, very positive history. It should be noted it was also home to segregated schools, something called the Black Legion, which was a sect of the Ku Klux Klan that was too violent for the Ku Klux Klan. The outshoot of that group still has their office in Detroit, just side note. We might want to ring them up. Has a very mixed and complicated history in many regards, but a very simple one in terms of this car factory coming in and shaping the way the city would work, and eventually really how all of our development would work. The development of automobiles led to the building of a national highway system. It led to suburbanization. It drove a model of development and structuring our society that we are beginning to feel some of the negative impacts of now. In 2011, after many decades of divestment and population loss, DTE Energy, our friendly local utility, repossessed over 1,000 of Highland Park streetlights, and pretty much rolled through with flatbeds and left every residential street in the city in the dark. People were pissed, so a group of local folks and myself came together to form Solidarity with the mission of relighting Highland Park streets with community-owned, off-grid, solar-powered street lighting. Yeah! Yeah, it was cool. We formed in 2012, and in the last few years we have funded and installed 6 solar-powered streetlights in the city. And in the last year we developed a proposal to the city of Highland Park called Let There Be Light. And we are pushing forward a proposal to install 1,000 municipally owned solar-powered streetlights. As many of you in other suburban cities probably don't know, but is probably kind of relevant, many of your cities got shafted recently in their LED street lighting rates. Someone knows about this? Yes! Street lighting rates. Really weird and obscure, but actually kind of important. So there's been huge fights in cities over the fact that utilities actually own most of the street lighting in southeast Michigan. Cities don't actually own their own street lights. The Public Lighting Authority included, no matter whether it's called an authority or DTE. We can talk about that later. Something that we've started to realize is that just working on street lighting has led us to think about not just that, but how the actual energy system that underlies all of this is structured. How many people feel like they have a good understanding of what kind of company DTE is? I'm not saying whether they're good or bad, I mean legally structured. Anybody have any idea? No. Yep. Anybody ever wondered why you never have an opportunity to choose which energy company you buy your power from?
Yes.
Side note, anyone ever heard that America is so great because we have a free market? Yeah, y'all getting lied to. It turns out that our entire energy economy was set up from day one to be monopoly organized. So energy companies were basically told, you have this service territory, you get to sell power there, nobody else gets to sell power there, and you get to make a 10 to 15% profit margin on everything you build. This was real reasonable at the time when you were trying to get people to invest a lot of money to build the energy system. Not reasonable from a justice perspective, but reasonable from a trying to build a lot of energy infrastructure perspective. And today what it is leading to is skyrocketing rates, massive environmental justice problems in terms of pollution and climate change, and a complete inability on our parts to have any democratic control over how this system works. And this is why Solidarity has started to branch out beyond just doing streetlights. We adopted a broader mission of building energy democracy. And what that means is that the people most impacted by energy decisions should have the greatest say in making them. Pretty baseline, simple idea that is fundamentally opposed to the way we do this now. And in doing that, we've started to do a few things. We do educational events very, very regularly. We are a democratic membership organization, so we have a board elected by our members. How many people in this room are Solidarity members?
Woo!
Yay! Yes, we have membership forms, and you can do it at solidarity.nationbuilder.com/become a member. Our website's over there. And I very much encourage you to do it. I think it's really important to also note that the energy system for a long time has had a lot of very clear race and class power dynamics within it. A lot of energy infrastructure has been built in poor communities, and communities of color, and most of this stuff was built in the early part of the 20th century when we didn't even have the meager protective legislation that we have now. And communities are still feeling the impacts of that. And I say that to say not we should all feel guilty about it, but we should all feel very clear that it is the responsibility of those of us who have benefited unfairly from that to put our work and sweat behind reversing that structure. Also, we have a stake in it because if we don't actually build the power that is needed to challenge the powers that are keeping us stuck in coal and natural gas and all of these messed up things, we are as a society collectively boned. So we both have a responsibility and a really strong self-interest in transforming the way that we get our power and the question of who has it. If you're interested in jumping in, I have a sign-up sheet over there. Please, I have to type up that entire sign-in sheet and upload it to our database. So if you sign up, please do it with the intent to, at the very least, read emails that I send and other members send, and actually get involved. If you are interested in actually getting solar lighting, we are running a bulk purchasing program for folks within the city of Detroit to get solar lights, solar generators, other things like that, to grow the energy independence of our communities so that we actually have some autonomy to be able to demand the kind of energy future that we want. I really want to talk about intersections with water, but I already got the wrap-up sign. So please sign up, please jump in with us, and please be committed to the long-term process of building the power we need to change where we get. Thank you.